When a mother witnessed the remarkable actions of a doctor with her daughters, she decided to capture the moment on camera. Becoming a physician requires many years of dedicated study, during which doctors learn everything from the intricacies of the human body to the complexities of medications. It's a noble profession, but certainly not an easy one. Some doctors go above and beyond to ease the burdens of their patients. Dr. Matthew Chanama is one such doctor, known for his unconventional methods of care. If you continue watching, you're sure to be inspired by this extraordinary physician. Before we dive into the story of Dr. Matthew Chanama, let's take a moment to highlight another remarkable doctor, Tony Atkins. Dr. Atkins serves as a neurosurgical physician assistant at the Children's Hospital in Orange County. His journey to this role and the work he does there is truly fascinating. Tony Atkins had a tough childhood. He and his brother lived with their single mother in a dangerous neighborhood. His brother got involved with the wrong crowd and got into trouble. But from a young age, Tony wanted a different life. He didn't want to end up like his brother. He worked hard in school because he believed that doing well would help him have a better future. Education was very important to him, and his mother was proud that he had a different goal and was on a better path than his brother. Tony's mother always supported him and helped him with his studies. After years of hard work and good grades, he got into good schools. He was a great student. After high school, Tony served in the military for a while. It took him some time to decide what he wanted to study, but eventually he realized he wanted to work in medicine and spent several years preparing for that. Tony always wanted to help people, especially children. He loved being around kids, and they loved him too. This is how he became a physician assistant in neurosurgery in the pediatric ward of the hospital. He worked very hard to get this job, and it meant a lot to him to be able to do something meaningful. Dr. Atkins saw how much the children were struggling in the hospital. Most patients have a hard time being in the hospital, but it's even worse for those in the neurology department. It can be very sad and distressing, not only for the patients but also for their families and the healthcare staff. Dr. Atkins thought about how he could help these children. There had to be some way to make them feel a little better, right? He hated seeing the children and their families so unhappy. He thought back to his own childhood when he also had many dark and unhappy days. What made him feel better then? That's when the idea hit him. Music and dance could be a solution. As a child, music had always cheered him up, no matter how difficult a time he was having. When he danced, he forgot all of his worries, and that wasn't just the case when he was a child. Dancing still made him feel better. Now that he was an adult, Dr. Atkins thought this was a great idea. He also figured out that laughter and exercise had been proven to have a better effect than painkillers. They are also better for the brain. This is what the children needed. There were many children at the hospital who were having a hard time. It wasn't just difficult for the children, but also for their families. Some children had undergone major surgeries or could barely move, but that didn't mean they could not enjoy the music. Whenever Dr. Atkins saw children who weren't feeling well, he would turn on the music and start dancing. He then invited the children to dance along. Sometimes the children hesitated. They could barely get out of bed. It was often both mentally and physically difficult for them to get up. Dr. Atkins would keep motivating them and manage to dance with them, and soon all the children would dance along with him. Dr. Atkins performed all kinds of dances. Sometimes he even ended up in a tutu when one of his patients wanted a ballet dance. He was always happy to do so as long as he was helping his young patients feel better. And Dr. Atkins was right, they were feeling better. It was surprising at times that the weakened children could still dance when they could otherwise barely move. Parents also loved seeing it. They always wanted to see their children happy and healthy. Some would even become emotional. I get that completely. Dr. Atkins became very popular both in the hospital and online, earning the nickname Dancing Doctor after sharing videos of his fun antics. His dancing became a key part of the recovery process for children, lifting their spirits and easing parents' worries. Thanks to Dr. Atkins, many children were successfully treated and able to go home, as his joyful approach made a significant difference in their healing. He continues to work at the hospital, transforming the atmosphere and gaining fame through his videos, which have even led to TV appearances. The children and parents who have met him are all very grateful for his positive impact. Dr. Matthew Chanama. We all hate going to the hospital. A hospital is not known as a place where people go to have fun, and of course, nobody expects that either. It's a place where people who are sick end up, and sometimes even pass away. It makes sense that the mood in a hospital is often very depressing and sad. Patients try their best to get better, and the staff does everything they can to help them eventually leave the hospital in good health. One doctor had an unconventional way to make his patients feel better using the very best medicine. Matthew Chima is a young doctor at the Wolfson Children's Hospital in Florida. He sees 6 children at work every day and has also had to say goodbye to many of them. However, the fact that they are working at the hospital does not mean that every day should be a sad one. Dr. Chima had a completely different approach. He wanted to make sure that his patients would feel as good as possible, no matter how sick they were. One person who knows very well how Dr. Chima did this and how he treated his young patients is a young girl named Autumn. Autumn came to the hospital with pneumonia, and this is how she met Dr. Chima. She stayed in the hospital with her mother and her sisters, Winter and Crystalline. They were all feeling unwell. Autumn was in pain, and the other 2 girls felt sorry for their sister. Of course, none of them liked having to go to the hospital, especially not because one of them needed medical treatment. However, Dr. Chima was going to make sure that the children would quickly forget this negative feeling. He noticed that the children were not feeling well. Every day, he saw kids who were unhappy, and he really did not like seeing them like that. How could he make these children feel better? He had a great idea. Dr. Chima turned on music and just started dancing. The children were a little taken aback, but they quickly began to smile. Dr. Chima kept making strange dance moves, and the kids loved it. Within moments, Autumn, Winter, and Crystalline started dancing along with the doctor. Their mother, who saw them, immediately felt better as well. When she saw what this doctor was doing with her daughters, she filmed the whole thing. She captured how the doctor and her 3 children were all dancing together. Just like that. Was this a hospital or a party? Everybody forgot their problems and where they were for a while. They just listened to the music and danced exuberantly, while their mother sat there filming them. It would certainly make a great memory. The mood changed immediately. It wasn't about pain or illness anymore. It was about having fun and laughter. Of course it was, because who wouldn't laugh at such a fun experience in a place where people usually only experience bad things? The people in the room were not the only ones who were cheered up. Autumn, Winter, and Crystalline's mother shared the video she made on her social media channels, and before she knew it, the video had millions of views from all around the world. Everybody loved how this doctor operated. One of the viewers who stood out was the famous talk show host Ellen DeGeneres. She shared the video on her social media as well and said she thought it was great how this doctor tried to cheer up his patients. Of course, Ellen DeGeneres herself is also known as someone who loves to dance. Dr. Chima, Autumn, and her family hope to inspire people with this video. A doctor's visit doesn't always have to be so serious and depressing. You can also have fun. Fortunately, Autumn has fully recovered thanks to Dr. Chima, who is known for dancing and even singing with his patients. He shares a special bond with them and has felt the pain of losing some, despite advice to remain distant. Dr. Chima believes in forming strong connections with his young patients, stating that if he couldn't invest his heart into his work, he would leave the profession. Doctors like him are truly exceptional, using joy and fun to uplift children facing serious illnesses. Their approach not only creates beautiful memories, but also has a positive impact on mental and physical well-being. Perhaps we should embrace this joyful method in healthcare more often. Did you have a beautiful experience in the hospital once, despite it being a sad situation? What was that experience like? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.